Like, Goku is a crazy person, and we never go into that anymore. Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome back aboard Toonami Absolution, where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alex.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John, Dragon Ball Z Ocean, episode 26, The Battle Ends, the final episode of the Vegeta saga, technically, depending who you're asking. Debuted May 24th, 1997, made up of Krillin's Offensive and Mercy. Yeah, this episode gets a bit weird because some of Ocean's stuff counts this as the first episode of Namek.
Yes, and if you're watching along in the Funimation with the Funimation dub as well, you'll note that there's still like 4 or 5 episodes that are contained in this home video release.
We get the biggest time cut of, I think, probably recent memory is that Krillin's. I actually did time this out. Krillin's scene when he's facing down Vegeta. That's about 5 to 6 minutes in Japan. It's about, I got it to 1 minute 25 seconds
Whoa.
in
That's
Ocean, depending where you. Cause Krillin in this is. We're going to sit right there, but when Krillin faced him down in Japan, there's a bit of a debate between him and Goku, and they're like, well, is this really the best idea? In Ocean, it's like, I'm going to kill you. Goku's like, no, don't. Krillin's like, oh, okay.
I do want to point out something about that scene before I get to something that genuinely bothers me about how this edit worked. Krillin picks up the katana and seems to not know what the katana is in this dub because he refers to it as this thing worked for Yajirobe. And I'm not sure if I should be upset at the localization or at the censorship there. So I'm confused.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can. Surely you can use the word sword. I mean, the Power Rangers had one of them had a sword.
E-Man's sword was a sword.
The power sword, yeah, yeah.
So why
Surely you
can't
can use
we?
the word sword, right?
So why can't we refer to it as like you don't even have to call it a katana. Just call it a sword. I'm so confused by that little because it makes it sound like because Krillin can clearly hold it correctly, but he doesn't know what it is. So like there's something very weird about the scripting there.
It makes it come off like Krillin has this one very strange gap in his knowledge. Like, does no one's ever taught? Like, I guess he's with kung fu monks and with Roshi. He's never had to sort of deal with swords. It's
Turtle Hermit, the turtle, turtle school does not use weapons.
Because of launch, you can identify guns on sight, but no one's ever used one of these on me.
See, it's weird that they can't use the word sword, but they didn't put pants on Gohan. And
they do
that
put a little bit of costuming on him.
A little bit.
Which gets not a lot. There's a tiny bit of Vegeta's costume covering his wee, which it varies from what so the Ocean Dragon box has part of that removed. So the TV edit is actually slightly more censored there. I'm not sure what happened, if it was just a case of they had to redo it for the Dragon box and they did it a little bit less. Very, very weird, but
yeah.
It was just so weird to me because so many other things have been like seemingly censored for almost no reason, and then it's like, oh no, the bleeding beneath an unconscious naked child is okay. Like it just seems like the line is so unclear, even 26 episodes in.
I feel like standards and practices has always been arbitrary, though. Like it's like the Amazing Spider-Man censorship stuff. I mean, it's just like you can't have them scare birds, you can't have them scare pigeons.
Every window in New York is open.
Yeah.
You can give Morbius weird hand mails that are going to give children very weird dreams for numerous years, though.
Yeah, it's like the salt vampire in Star Trek.
I will give Ocean a little bit of credit on the blood here because you'll see go through it, you'll be like, oh, they've censored that blood. No, Japan is also very they keep losing track of where blood is in the Japanese version. So a lot of the that's censored isn't actually censored. It's just in Japan for some reason. Like the blood on Krillin's mouth literally changes between cuts. Like he'll have it, then he won't, then he'll have it on the other side, then he won't. I think everyone just kind of lost track during this fight, and Ocean did what they could, but it's like, well, it's going to keep flipping around.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, it's a it's a it there are moments where I watch this and I still have to kind of think about the fact that Vegeta gets defeated by a giant naked child. That's the
And
coup de grace.
Yajirobe.
Yeah, I mean, Yajirobe slashes him on the back, and he's like, "Oh, I can't do this."
Does so there are many debates in the Dragon Ball community about
Mm.
Vegeta versus Goku throughout time. Goku did not win this fight. Can we just like officially say that Goku is not the winner here?
It depends on where you consider the end of the fight. Do you
Mm.
consider Great Ape, Vegeta part of the fight, or do you think that's cheating? Do you like if it's just like head to head, humanoid to humanoid, Goku wins. If it's like, no, no, the fight doesn't end until Vegeta crawls into his space pod, yeah,
I mean,
Vegeta
like that,
wins.
I feel like that opens up like such a can of worms, right? Because the Super Saiyan transformation is a transformation, like not like the Kaioken, or like even when you're talking about is fusion cheating in this case, right? Like
I mean, it depends on tournament rules. I mean, as far
tournament rules.
yeah, like you can't Great Ape out in like Sparking Zero tournaments, but it would
Yeah,
be
but in
awesome.
the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, Piccolo got to be gigantic, and that was okay.
Yeah, yeah, also
But are
true.
you going to tell Piccolo no? That's the question. That's where this comes down to. See, my argument is Goku won because Vegeta lost by ring out.
Mm.
You know
Oh,
what?
but yeah, he gets shot into space. Yeah, yeah.
He does
Or he
get shot.
gets into his pod, he leaves, it's ring out, it's all over.
Oh, yeah. So he DQs basically.
I do also
Exactly.
want I do also want to talk about some weird speed racer shit that happened when Goku is giving like that conversation with Krillin, where all of a sudden the dub speeds up the way he's talking, where it's like, because I am a Saiyan too, ha! Like it's so speed racer and came out of left field.
These last two episodes really feel like Ocean had a moment where they realized they got the timings wrong. And because so many, like, there's a point, I think it's about 4 episodes ago, where I can basically mark where all of my censorship notes go from this is clearly a standards and practices thing. I can find a standards and practices diktat or rule for why that would be done, to this just feels like we're cutting this stuff for time. This just feels like they went too long, or somewhere down the line they've got a number wrong, and now we're having to cram all of this in. And for some reason, we're cutting Krillin having his big moment rather than cutting plain banter with Roshi for some, which I don't understand why.
Yeah. Bummer.
Uh,
Roshi has the dub team on the take. You know that. Like
Yeah.
he's been paying them under the table.
I love in the oceans too when they have, because they have Corinne appears and he's like, oh, I'm going to come with you on this trip for some reason, and they have Roshi take out Blue. Do you know who that is? Like, no, no, Roshi, you should know she doesn't. Why would she? Like, no. I know the dubbing team don't know that either.
Is this all now that I'm thinking about it, the only time we ever see Corrin outside of his tower?
Um, I feel like he was on the lookout. Are we counting the lookout as part of the tower?
Lookout's not I mean, you have to get there by power pole
Yeah, I
to
think I'm pretty sure he was on the on the lookout at one point. Like I can't say it definitively, but I feel like I've seen him there.
We definitely don't see him turning up to people's houses after this.
No.
yeah.
Like, he's always he always appears in sort of the magical place. I think he does a. I think it's Boo. He's one of the holdouts on the lookout. I think.
No, no, he gets messed up
Oh,
with Yajirobe in the tower. They never join the others when they take refuge in the tower.
hmm.
Oh.
I
Hmm.
have a distinct memory of seeing him on the lookout, but I'm wondering that might be a game. To be
It's
fair,
yeah,
That
it
might be
could.
one of the games.
I'm
That
trying to
reminds
think
me
of
of
the
like
opening. The only other thing I could think of is like the opening party in Daima.
he is
mm.
not at that.
Okay, then he's not.
I spent a
yeah.
very depressing 4 hours in Vancouver Airport going through that scene. God, I'm glad I don't have that job anymore.
I
God.
I feel like right now we're doing the thing where it's like, no, the Fruit of the Loom thing always had the cornucopia in it.
Did it not?
Apparently, that's a thing we all imagined. The Fruit of the Loom company says that they've never had the cornucopia in the tag, and I don't know if I believe that.
I
That's
like the idea that
horrible.
people have spent so long looking at other people's underwear they can notice such changes. I wish I had that passion about anything in life.
Hey, it's also undershirts. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
All undergarments, really, but the
Other
um
undergarment brands are available.
yes. Yeah, I'm a Hanes man. But the
Good to know.
uh where the fuck were we?
Talking about Corin and if he ever left the tower before. Like, yeah, I
Uh,
don't know if he ever leaves after this point because Yajirobe moves in after this point, basically, and
yeah,
he's got a roommate now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the poker game is in the tower.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
When Goku shows off Super Saiyan, not full power Super Saiyan, it's in the tower.
pseudo Saiyan, if you will,
Yeah. Every time, when in the 7-year jump, it's them still chilling in the tower, and now Yajirobe has a mustache. Yeah,
obviously.
yeah, that's how you know time has passed. That's really it.
It is what it. Yeah, if you've ever seen the birdcage, you know that's what you do when you move in with your roommate.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
roommates. Yes, yes.
they were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates.
Uh,
But yeah, poor Corin never gets to leave the tower again.
I mean, he's got it kind of made. He's got his beans. He's got his massive things of alcohol that make you hallucinate.
Honestly, the way Chi-Chi treats him, I don't blame him for just being like, "You know what? Screw these guys. I'm just gonna hang out in my sweet tower."
Anime Chi-Chi is always so like Chi-Chi in the manga is never as horrible and shrill as she is in the anime, and
I've
I feel
never
like
been
this
yeah,
dub is worse for her.
I've never been comfortable with it. I've never been comfortable with the treatment of Chi-Chi post Dragon Ball.
Especially in this arc is probably the worst for it because she is totally justified in freaking out. Gohan is and it's weird because they did this emotional beat with Piccolo very near the start. Like she and Piccolo have the same opinion that this is a terrible situation for Gohan to be in. Piccolo is just like, well, we have to do it. So why is she getting crap for it? Like,
Yeah.
it also feels like such a missed opportunity for a really nice bit of storytelling with her to kind of ground that what's going on here is a young boy maybe throwing away his life for the greater good, because that would really nicely capstone Goku's speech here in that we can't be as bad as Vegeta is. Like
Yeah.
it,
And also to that point, Goku also immediately undercuts that when he's like, "It's also me being selfish because like we're both Saiyans, and I want to see him again. He's so dreamy." Like
Yeah.
Goku. There's also something weird to me when we do like this super heroic version of Goku because he's also very upfront in the manga and very upfront in later dubs where it's like, no, I need to fight this guy. It's a Piccolo situation. I'm not going to kill him because I want to beat his ass again. And I don't it's always there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in this dub and Chi-Chi and Goku are kind of weird right now and I don't love it.
Nah.
I'm always sad they always kind of cut. All the dubs kind of do is they reduce Krillin's Piccolo because Krillin makes the point of Piccolo, and he basically says to Goku, "Hey, we can't rely on what happened to Piccolo happening every time," which is a really nice line. And I really like it because it makes sense because it's basically one, it's making a big deal of Piccolo, which I really enjoy. Going, hey, baby Piccolo is just special, and it's really cool what happened to him, but that's because of Gohan. Gohan has been this nice influence on him. I know it's always weird when places downplay that Krillin is aware of Piccolo's change, and that I don't know. It's how all the Americans try and make Goku into Superman always will kind of bug me.
Yeah, like there is interesting stuff happening in Superman comics where like now Superman is also kind of Goku in a weird way. The snake has eaten its own tail, but I agree. I don't love Goku being Superman. I love Superman, but I like Clark Kent. I don't love Son Goku being this character. Like, be a nice guy, do what you got to do, but it's also like, no, this is the same guy who later on is going to threaten the existence of the entire universe
Multiverse.
of the multiverse by just wanting to get a good fight in. He's going to take a hit out on himself to fight an assassin. Like Goku is a crazy person and we never go into that anymore.
I always put it up to the thing. A lot of the dubbing teams just don't know Journey to the West. Like, because, Goku plays on Journey to the West, and the big point of Journey to the West is without Tripitaka, Monkey is, in theory, he is good-hearted, but he needs Tripitaka, he needs the monk figure to pull him back because he's good-hearted, but not entirely sure how to be good-hearted actively. And that's what Goku needs. He needs Chi-Chi, he needs Krillin, he needs Piccolo, people who can sometimes be like, hey, I get what you're doing, but this is probably not the best way to go about this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Talking of changes that go across, there's a big one in both dubs. When Krillin looks over Vegeta's corpse, they change it. So in Japan, he goes like, "Oh, we should dig him a grave," and then Vegeta comes up going, "You mean a grave for you guys?" But both dubs change it to Krillin calling him ugly, and then Vegeta coming back up and going, "Who are you calling ugly?"
Yeah.
Which is weird because the Japanese one I think is better, but the American dub for both those is much closer to what Vegeta would become, in that, like, being this kind of vain, arrogant weirdo.
like there is a part of me that does miss. Like, I love Vegeta as a character. I love the journey he goes on throughout Dragon Ball Z because he gets the main thrust of character development throughout Dragon Ball Z. I There is a part of me that prefers super evil Vegeta. Like, Namek Saga Vegeta and this Vegeta, I find infinitely more funny and interesting and off the wall. And like, it's cool that he calms down and becomes like a dad and shit. But I don't know. I feel like we got that with Piccolo too. And I don't know how is the San family so good at just injecting this level of like morality into people who want to take over the world. I don't know.
They talk about it quite a bit. I mean, they are aware of it on some level. It really is. I always kind of point to Fast and the Furious taking on a Dragon Ball esque journey. It's like your big bad is now either dead or he's going to be your friend and ally and go to the Familia picnic at the end of the next movie. Um, but that's always been with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yamcha, Tien, you could argue Krellin to a degree, Piccolo, Vegeta, Majin Buu, Android 18.
It's just so interesting when you get to Dragon Ball Z because, like, Yamcha was just like a guy in the woods stealing from people, right? Like, Tien was never that bad to begin with. Like, Krillin was never that bad to begin with.
Krellin wasn't.
The worst thing that Tien did was break Yamcha's leg. Like, that was the worst thing that he did.
In the filler, he tortures Inoshika.
In the filler,
and Yamcha kind of has it coming.
Yamcha does try to kill them straight up when they let's be clear.
Vegeta committed multiple genocides.
Like, he destroyed planets. I get what you're saying.
Like, you know what I mean? Even Piccolo Jr., like Ma Jr. Piccolo, right? Like, the worst thing he did, he didn't even kill anybody at the tournament. Like, he was
I mean, that disqualifies you, right? You can't.
Yeah, he didn't even kill anybody at the tournament. He was just a jerk. Vegeta committed multiple genocides. I think that Vegeta got off a little easy.
Yeah, Majin Buu goes good.
But again, multiple genocides.
To be fair, Majin Buu might not count because Majin Buu, they kind of brainwash him via reincarnation, like that.
Yes, and the super manga gets weird with it, right? Because he still has the personality of the old Supreme Kai, or of the more corpulent Supreme Kai in him, and even though we don't see him in the pods in his brain, it gets weird. It's
weird.
Vegeta is a magic. Vegeta just literally saw Bulma and went, "I'm morally good now."
Like, sometimes that sex can change your life.
But it didn't, because he still tried to kill everybody in the Majin Buu saga.
Well, eventually you kind of, the 7-year itch, because it is a 7-year jump.
Vegeta's crisis was trying to end the world as we know it.
Yeah.
That's weird Babidi magic, which makes you hate your wife.
And they do establish, though, that the Babidi magic can only work if there's darkness in your heart. And oh boy, does Vegeta have darkness in his heart.
Yeah, he lives with Bulma. There's a lot of darkness in that family. Bulma just hasn't had the means yet.
I think we just need to readdress the old adage, like, Vegeta is the root cause of every bad thing that happens in Z. Goku letting Vegeta live means that everything gets screwed up. Like, Goku makes a ton of selfish decisions, but we let Vegeta off as like a society so easy. Do you ever think Krillin looks at him as like, "Hey, you remember all those planets you murdered?"
Oh, I mean, it comes up in I mean, the Namekians alone come up in later in Z. And I think maybe Super, like in the manga, when they go to when that new Namek gets messed up by Moro, because new Namek is always the first thing to go. Um,
How
yeah,
canceled on Twitter is Vegeta? Is the real question. Do
I
we
think he would like blow it up. I think he would like you know, I don't think he's above like property destruction and any collateral damage. Um,
Like,
But
did
I
you?
do think that I mean, are or they remember they even addressed this in the beginning of Super and in Battle of the Gods, where they're like, oh, you know, Vegeta was a horrible person, but you know now he's good in my book, and they all applaud him, and he loses his shit. He's like, don't clap, like even Majin Buu's like, oh, he's the mean man. He's like, you have no room to judge me.
I just like to imagine, Bulma's dad has the massive telescope we see him looking through. Do you ever think him and Vegeta have had like a night there where he's like, that's an asteroid. Oh, yeah, that's a planet I killed. Oh, another
Yeah.
one. That's another planet I killed. Yep, that's the Iralians. There they go.
Yeah, I
God,
do
I've killed a
love
lot of
that,
people.
the first thing Vegeta does when he's, like, becomes obsessed with Goku and fighting Goku after the Frieza saga, is just wipe out Frieza Force planets. He's just like, "I'm just gonna do this now. This is
He's
what
just
I know."
consistently committing genocide up until the Cell Saga. Like there's a through line of Vegeta looking at a species and being like, Vegeta versus Megatron, who has killed more organic life?
I mean, it's Vegeta, I get it, but, like, again, something like, if there's anything James Bond movies have taught me, it's sometimes the sex is so good, you change morality alignments.
That's
Yeah.
true. That is fair. I
And all
needed to
that
get that off
capsule
my
corp
chest.
money.
Look, Vegeta is the world's biggest sugar baby. We all need to just reconcile with he is a war criminal and a sugar baby at
I
the same time.
just realized this was on the news. So do you think Bulma hired like a crisis PR firm before they got married to like sort of
Oh,
distribute stories about Vegeta being like, oh, that wasn't really Vegeta. Like he was in magazines. Like I found Christ, or technically, I guess King Yemma in my time on
You
Earth.
know, or I guess really technically King Kai or Kami, or in this case Dende.
he found
Uh,
Dende.
yeah.
No, Dende's
the-
very hard on his image rights. So yeah, Getty makes sure you can't use Dende's without permission.
I mean, all of the genocide he commits on Earth, he's really just present for. Nappa's the trigger man, and we also know that all the news crews that would have witnessed it gone,
Yeah.
erased. They don't
Also,
exist.
we also do need to remember that on Namek, the Namekians that Vegeta killed did not get brought back
Oh,
because
they bring that up when they all come
that is
back to
brought
Earth
up
and they see him sitting there under the tree. They're like, "This asshole took out an entire village that didn't come back."
because he wasn't technically a Frieza soldier at that point.
Yeah,
And the dragon is a very monkey's paw kind of thing. You have to be specific with your
yeah. They're
wording.
like, "Yo, what happened to this village?" It's like, "Oh, that dude with the weird hair over there. That's just like laughing, throwing up fistfuls of grass. Did it?" And we're like, "Oh,
Oh yeah, I love Vegeta's grass breakdown. That's one of my favorite scenes in anything. Um,
I love Vegeta. He's such a fun character. I genuinely enjoy him. I just think maybe we let him off a little easy sometimes. I'm just throwing it out there.
he does get his ass beat probably more thoroughly than any other. Like, what happened? He gets his ass kicked by. We're gonna see his ass get kicked by Zarbon after this, Raccoon after this, Frieza multiple times after this, um, Android
18.
18 after this, breaking both of his arms in the process.
Yeah.
Cell on multiple occasions. You know, he gets his ass beat by Goku. He gets his ass utterly beat by Majin Buu. He gets that hide tanned by Kid Buu quite thoroughly. Um, in GT, he doesn't even ask for it. He gets his body hijacked and then his ass beat like during the whole baby thing.
Karma exists in the Dragon universe, and it's basically Vegeta getting his ass kicked repeatedly and never learning his lesson.
Yeah.
it's Dende calling his friends like, "Hey, just break this guy's legs for me."
Yeah. In
I
the
like that idea,
movies,
Dende.
in the movies, he gets beaten up pretty thoroughly. I
He gets
mean,
Worf affected hard pretty much every movie.
yeah, yeah, it's like he's the first one that attacks Super Android 13. He's like, "Screw this guy," and then just gets annihilated.
It's oh, Vegeta. But, in many ways, I am glad that Vegeta got to live and we got to see
I'm
more
happy
Vegeta.
that Vegeta's with us. I mean, on some level, you could argue it argues the idea that no one is above forgiveness and repentance and atonement. On the other hand, he makes a great, like, kind of like Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid foil for Goku. And on the other hand, it's just fun seeing him get just absolutely mollywopped left, right, and center.
And also, to be fair, I do think, because Piccolo's character arc it's kind of wrapping up at this point. Like, he is officially a good guy after
Yeah.
he makes his sacrifice for Gohan. So we needed somebody else to kind of come in, and instead of being in the asexual thruple that is Goku, Piccolo, and Chi Chi, we had to have some kind of new exciting blood come in. And I
Yeah.
think that that's what we need for Vegeta. So I'm
Yeah.
glad he's here. I just wanted to point it out.
And
Like you're
if we
saying,
decide,
Piccolo is asexual. We need somebody that is willing to hang that dong.
Yeah. We have a very asexual thruple, and then we have to have a very sexual Vegeta.
I think the argument is if you want to do I'm not sure what point Toriyama sort of decided Frieza is the next thing, but if you're doing that story, you need another Saiyan to inform Goku of all the things he's missed,
Yeah.
and you could introduce a new one. But at that point, then you're gonna have to go through this whole thing again, sort of build that character up. If you've already got a character who has this information, you may as well keep them around because you do need someone for this next arc to be able to say, "This is this guy. This is what he did. This is why we care."
But before we get into final thoughts, and before we wrap up, I do want to ask some questions to my fellow Dragon Ball Z fans. Do you remember the first time you saw the end of this arc, and do you remember how you felt about it?
I at that point I already knew Frieza was coming. For some reason, this is early days internet, so I might have peaked. I didn't know that much about Trunks or the androids or anything, but for some reason I knew that there was a bigger threat on the horizon already. So I was like, all right, cool. Bring on whatever's next. Bring on that weird, you know, I don't even know how you would describe Frieza. Is it like final form Frieza? Is it like a playing card kind of white with like
It was
markings? I don't know.
like one of the Greys.
Yeah.
Yeah, mannequin.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I watched the Cartoon Network, but I didn't know there was anything next. I thought this was it. Like it just felt like where'd you go from here? This guy's dead. This guy's done.
No, because I was really well rewatching it. It did take me back to being in my grandma's living room, sitting with her in the big recliner rocking chair and watching Dragon Ball Z together because she was a good woman. Um, but I it took me back to that and me being so excited to be like, what's gonna happen next? Where can they go from here? Is Vegeta gonna come back? Like I was genuinely hooked at this point, and I love that. I love that I have that memory of being so hooked in and not knowing that we were gonna get Raditz 57 more times.
I was about
At
to
a
bring that
certain
up.
point. No, go for it.
What's coming next? Raditz, because this is what Cartoon Network would do when they ran out of DBZ. They'd go back to Raditz and start again. And what's really funny about that is that those ratings didn't go down. Those
No, I
ratings.
still watch that shit.
I still watched
Oh, yeah.
it.
Well, I think the thing is, and this is coming from a few comments from people about why they did all the repeats, and it was because they were still getting good ratings, like really good ratings, even like the fourth, fifth time round. I think the thing to remember here is that home media Dragon Ball Z was painfully expensive. So,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just for context, this is an era where DVDs were out, but they hadn't hit critical mass yet. So DVDs were still being made as copies of VHS tapes. So they were restricted by the form of VHS. So basically, each VHS had 3 episodes, meaning Raditz took 1 DVD, Vegeta took 7. And
I think somewhere around the condo, I still have some of the DBZ like VHS tapes. And yeah, the VHS tapes were like $25 to $30
Yeah, they
for
were not
3
cheap.
episodes.
I can actually tell you if you ordered from the right stuff in August '99, they were $22.48 each. Ordering directly from Pioneer, who were the manufacturers, the DVD was $24.98 and the VHS was $14.98. So if you wanted to do the entire set on VHS from Pioneer, that would be $119.84 or $232 today. And as DVD, $199 or $387 in today's money. And
I
for
Yeah.
was gonna say,
context,
yeah.
that is cheap. The $387 is cheaper than both the Dragon Ball Z Complete Blu-ray, so every DBZ has, and cheaper than the DBZ Super Limited Edition Complete Blu-ray. And if you, I did look shopping around, you can get both of those for under $387. So you could get all of Z and all of Super for the price of just getting Vegeta.
It was pricey.
Yeah,
I didn't have the.
and
I'll say this. I didn't have the full set.
and
No.
this is why those reruns did well. Because if you got into this, which I remember I did, I think I was a couple of episodes into Vegeta when I started. When it came back round, you'd watch it again because that was the only way to watch it. Because your parents aren't gonna. That's why the movies are a big deal in the US. Because you could probably justify your parents to get you the one movie, but can I buy 7 tapes? Like no,
See
for
see, my family didn't give a shit about copyright. My dad knew I was into something. He'd be like, "Here, we have a couple blank videos that I got from the back of the models I work at. Let's just record the episodes that you want to keep." So I know in my parents' house there is like a closet full of just illegally recorded VHSs.
Yeah.
hey, if they're only for private exhibition, technically legal.
But that we are getting close to the end, so let's get some final thoughts, my friends.
I mean, this is it. This is the final thoughts on DBZ Volume One, at least as far as the Saiyan sagas going. Yeah, no, it was interesting going back. I think the big thing that I really enjoy about the Ocean dubs, other than the better pacing for the most part, or at least initially, um, I I like the Ocean dub score better than the Bruce Faulkner score. It's a little more atmospheric. It's a little more kind of 90s kind of, it isn't just like out of tune guitars screeching all the time, which is kind of what it would become when it transitioned to Funimation for a while. So that was a blast. The voice acting is a bit more hit or miss overall. We keep shitting on the Krellin voice actor.
Me too.
um, uh, Brian Drummond's great. I think he's the biggest influence, and of course Scott McNeil. I think those are the two goats when it comes to this particular dub for this season.
Yeah, this has been a fun nostalgia trip. Though I would say this isn't the way you watch DBZ now. You do Kai. I guess the funny thing, I've been more positive about this than I thought I would be. But I think part of that is because at this point I must have seen the Vegeta saga at least 20 times. And I've done it through the games, I've done it through the manga. So all of Ocean's cuts and stuff don't really matter because I can already fill in the gaps. I already know what. So there's been a few times I'm like, oh, that was cut, right. But it's fine because I remember what actually happens. So yeah, I would not recommend going back to this unless you have specific nostalgia for it or you're really interested in this era of dubbing because it is interesting to see how they do it. But as a Dragon Ball Z experience, it is limiting. And it's unfortunate. There are some nice bits. I do like the pacing, but some of the voice acting and just stuff like Other Dimension and the violent and the cutting of blood, just great. And I think for me especially because yeah, Other Dimensioning cost just some of my favorite moments in these fights. And yeah, especially like the loss of the Krillin argument is for me a crime. It is so important, and they decided here that nah, Krillin can just be a pushover. Kids can't handle morals. It's fine, which is yeah. I would only watch this if you have some perverse interest in it. But Vegeta Saga, great. Go watch it as Kai if you don't have time, or just go watch the whole thing. It's not as bad as it will become pacing wise.
I mean, I'm in alignment with that. I think that it is for me, this was a great nostalgia trip. I loved getting to rewatch this in the way that I watched it the first time because all it does is take me back to sitting in my grandma's chair with her while she's trying to keep up with the show because she's interested in what I wanted to watch. Like this was this and Yu Yu Hakusho were my gateways into anime. This opened up a world for me that I wouldn't have gotten to experience otherwise. And yeah, as an adult going back to it, there are way better ways to watch Dragon Ball Z. There are way better ways to experience the story. But for me, as a millennial who this hit so perfectly at just the right time that it lives in my brain and lives as kind of a part of who I am. And it made me, yeah, honestly, I think in a lot of ways, Dragon Ball did kind of make me a better person because I did start thinking about those morals. I did start thinking about these stories, and it made me a better storyteller overall. And I appreciate that about Dragon Ball Z. And I appreciate that about this dub, but everyone is right. Watch Kai. It is the superior way to watch this show right now. But that does mean that we have pulled into our final destination. That's right. It is time for us to disembark from Toonami Absolution. We want to thank you once again in joining us and talking about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. We have been your hosts. My name is Alex,
I'm Sam.
And I'm John.
and we'll see you next time. Bang.